Okay, so I will not tell you the title of my poem. I think we'll be able to move together from the theme. I wrote a letter to the umbrellaed congressmen, those who move in canopies, strut monumentally in doorways. Dear politicians, your violence won't bar our silence. Take your monies back. All they have done is turn our able-bodied youths into political cadres who stand for nothing but violence, who turn against their own brothers and sisters using pangas with no remorse to kill and to destroy. We can't be too many votes away from seeing you implode, watching you become the nothing you built speeches on. I can't help but travel in thoughts, see the meats of omission beneath the glow, with the underbelly of the equator full of starving babies. I visit every restaurant every night, every day, and I watch men full of money that is speaking from their stomachs, from the green they drink, the exact same reason they don't give to bodies dying for their leftovers. I look at you and I ask you, where are your gentrificates? Where are your cadres? Where are the men who give books to public schools meant for empowerment, but they sell them? You tell us to reach for the sky, but university and colleges cost more than the sky you tell us to reach for. You say you empower youths, but the only jobs in the country you provide for us are law. If I'm not a nurse, I do not have a job, so I cannot go for agriculture because you have not empowered me in that area, dear politicians. Tell me, what do I stand for? For I look forward to the times when men have much more days than drinking days. All I do these days is look at the youths, and the only thing they hunger for, that they greed for, is the very liquid that melts their intestines, that they cannot stand anymore to fully stand and watch a tomato germinate into the very liquid that is going to produce the soup that is going to fill their bellies. Dear politicians, your violence won't bar our silence. I fear you. I fear you. I remember the days when I was young, I stood and told my mother I wanted to be a leader, but not anymore. I fear the very men you employ to protect me. I don't fear the uniform, but the very men that it keeps. For the sign of violence, for the sign of silence, the sign of peace only makes them mad, only makes them shoot, only makes them throw tear gas to where we decide to find resolution and peace. Vespers, we still mourn you. We are afraid, dear politicians. We are afraid of what becomes of us. I walk in the road every day and I look at the very child that is dying to have little bread on their table, but you are sitting on high tables that you call high tables because you enjoy the very food that you tell us to call food security, but we have no security in our areas because we have not had food for the whole year. Let me tell you about my mother, who's been struggling day in and day out to bring food on the table. She told me that a way to a man's heart is through his stomach, but I'm afraid I see no marriage because I cannot find any food to fill my man with. Dear politicians, your violence won't bar our silence. I fear you. I fear you. See, I danced to the songs that you sang. I danced to the rhythm of your vibes, and I listened. And it brought me down. It degraded me to how unwise that I was. See, I remember when we danced Dununa reverse, but now everything has been turned into reverse because we see no future for our brothers and sisters. I look at my brother who has dreams to be a policeman, and I see a policeman in a uniform and I feel shame for my brother because I'm scared of the man he's going to become. I fear for us, dear politicians. I fear for our youths that you do not empower. I fear that the very things that we pride in you do not support. I fear that many of us gather here to invest our lives in things more productive, but you would rather talk about drugs, but they do not benefit our growth. Dear politicians, I fear for our future. I fear for us. We stand and we talk about food security, but our country has been dying. The very root that they inherit of our youths is the laziness that they cannot stand to invest in agriculture because there is no money. You have not taught us about things that produce money. You have taught us about things, degrees and things that do not provide for our future. So we spend years and years in schools that fill us with lies that we cannot even use to survive for the next 4 years. Dear politicians, I fear for us. Empower us, that even as we speak of food security, even as we stand to say we live in a country that is proud, that we live in a country, in a motherland that is our history, that is our birthright, that is our pride, that we look back to the days when our mothers and fathers were hunters and gatherers, that nature gave back the very production they gave to it. I fear for us, and I pray, dear politicians, that it is not about violence anymore. Look at the future that you have invested in the youths of today. You say that you walk the talk, but you have not spoken the talk that you spoke of. If not for us, then do it for our brothers and sisters, the ones that are still growing, the ones that look at the soldiers and the policemen and still believe that they're their heroes. If not for us, then do it for our young brothers and sisters who still want to be doctors, not for the money, but because it is their dream. If not for us, do it for our brothers and sisters who still look at leaders and see men of influence, men of power, men of official work, not thieves and robbers. Do it for our brothers and sisters who still believe that you can still walk the talk.
Let's show some love to the sister, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.